Hi everybody and welcome to my channel, Oracle of the Crows, Hypnocrow. My name is Melody for those of you who are new to my channel. Welcome. Thank you to each and every one of you guys, whether you are a new subscriber or a returning subscriber from my other channel. I am grateful for each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart and soul for all the love and support that you've been giving me. This video is for the star sign of Aries, and we are talking about the full moon lunar eclipse that we got coming on November 8th. So we're going to start off Aries with this first question using the Moonology cards, asking about an ancestral or karmic pattern that is calling to you that needs to be released. An ancestral or karmic pattern that's calling to Aries that needs to be released. An ancestral or karmic pattern that's calling to Aries that needs to be released. Communication. So we have new moon in Gemini. So I feel like you have a karmic pattern or ancestral pattern about communication that needs to be released. And I feel like for a lot of us, it has to do with the things that our family, as children, when we're raised, our family has told us. The things that they have told us. So that is what's being reflected back to you. And I want you to go within. Unlock this pattern so that you can let it go. It's time to release it. Your power of communication, Aries, it's time to release it. So the lunar eclipse full moon is in sidereal Aries, which would be you, Aries. It is in a tropical Taurus. So there is something that can unlock once you release this pattern of communication. I feel for a lot of you, it's about maybe being afraid to communicate, holding things in, and then you get triggered, and then all this, everything that you stuffed down, it comes out like a freaking volcano. So it's about expressing yourself. And you know, as a child, especially in my generation, we were taught that kids are to be seen, not heard. So therefore, we have this pattern of not being allowed to express ourselves because we are to be seen, not heard. So we hold everything in because we don't want to rock the boat. So releasing that pattern is key to the new cycle. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some signs that you are showing Aries about this cycle or pattern that needs to be released. Some signs that you are showing Aries about this pattern that is calling them to be released, reflecting back to them. The signs you're reflecting back to them. Yep. There's survival mode. There's some deep emotions. Remember I said about stuffing it all down, and then something triggers you and you either bite somebody's head off like this shark, or you get this trigger and everything flows out. And it flows out in a very painful way. Because we, as in my generation, were taught, like I said, kids are to be seen and not heard. So you stuff it in. Yep, and you're spiritually awakening to that. That rainstorm, there it is. That storm of emotions that you hold deep within you. So you're seeing a sign of 1111, that you are on the right path, right? You're on the right path. This is key to release this pattern of holding all them emotions deep down inside of you. And then something triggers you, and then boof, it all comes out. And then you're like a shark ready to chew somebody in half. So it's about your communication. Alright, so how can Aries evolve from this pattern and take their next step? How can Aries evolve from this pattern and take their next step? How can Aries evolve from this pattern and take their next step? So how can they evolve from the pattern is stop stuffing it down and staying silent. And it goes back to what I originally said. Kids are to be seen, not heard. You know, stop being silent. Stop holding yourself back. That's how you can evolve from this pattern. See the sun coming up? And you're seeing that. You're recognizing this pattern and how you've been in survival mode and how it's kept you suffering because you're afraid of rocking the boat, right, in the storm. The Spirit is telling you, let it go. Let it go. Communicate how you feel now in the present moment, so when things happen, you're not like a freaking volcano. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to suffer through being silenced. Yeah. And it all starts with being in that flow of communicating with the power of love. Pouring out your emotions in a positive way. That's where it starts. Learning to love yourself. Learning to value. Learning to, let me see if I can put these words right. Learning to love yourself enough to communicate from the heart, instead of silencing what you want to say and suffering in that. Just standing in survival mode. Again, going back to that trigger of kids are being seen or not heard. Being in alignment with your emotions instead of holding it all in, expressing it in a positive and loving way and valuing it. Learning to say, okay, my words matter. What I have to say matters. So that is how you can evolve from this pattern and take your next step. Learning to say what I have to say matters. I don't have to stuff it down there more until I get triggered. Key is to love yourself enough to not allow the suffering anymore of keeping yourself silent. Being in the flow, not holding it all in until something triggers and things come out like a storm, right? Being in the flow, in the moment, expressing yourself, but in a positive way, not to the point where you're chewing somebody's head off. Aries. Alright, so what must Aries consciously let go of that they've been avoiding? What must Aries consciously let go of that they've been avoiding. What must Aries consciously let go of that they've been avoiding? Perfect. Frustration. Frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. Exactly. Instead of it coming out in a storm. Because it'll just cause more storms. So take a breath, center yourself, and approach the situation more calmly with love. And then communicate how you feel. So that's the key. Communication is key. The key to resolving the dilemma when it comes to communication. Beautiful. I mean, it's right there. Stop suffering in silence. Stop allowing yourself to sit in this frustrating, suffering energy. Stop stuffing it down. Communication is key. And the key to dissolving this suffering is, like they said, take that breath. Center yourself. And approach the situation from a more calm, loving approach. Beautiful. All right, so the next question, or the next question, I guess, is a message from Aries soul self that they must listen to at this time. A message from Aries soul self that they must listen to at this time. Simplicity. Deep, profound serenity is expanding in your life. So they want you to be sensible. You know, deep, profound serenity is expanding in your life. Yeah, instead of suffering. When you approach the situation from a different perspective, you have deep, profound serenity versus suffering, holding in them deep emotions. Okay, and we're going to pull another message. A message from Aries soul self that they must listen to at this time. Okay, and it's even blue. With the throat chakra, blue throat chakra, blue throat chakra. All right, so a message from Aries soul self that they must listen to at this time. Say you're sorry. See the wound on the dog's face? That's that biting off the face, biting the wound. Are you carrying around regret? Is there a relationship that needs healing but you just don't know what to say? Give your pride a rest and simply start with, I'm sorry. Take responsibility and acknowledge your role in the situation. Apologize for them and for you, Aries, then let it go. There's where your deep and lasting serenity is. And be proud of yourself. Making amends isn't easy, but it's a huge leap toward your spiritual path. Bravo. Couldn't have been better said if I did say it. Alright, So there you go, Aries. That is your lunar eclipse reading. I thank you for watching. Have a blessed week and a good lunar eclipse.